जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतर श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतर श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस शील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय श्री श्री कृष्णा रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा की जय श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय जगतगुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, entitled The Glories of Devotional Service, text number 26. Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyad Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyad Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyad Drishta Shrutan Mad Rachana Anuchintaya Drishtashrutan Madrachana Anuchintaya Drishtashrutan Madrachana Anuchintaya Chittasya Yattaha Grahane Yoga Yuktaha Chittasya Yatto Grahane Yoga Yukto Chittasya Yatto Grahane Yoga Yukto Yatishyate Rijubhihi Yoga Margaihi Yatishyate Rijubhir Yoga Margaihi Yatishyate Rijubhir Yoga Margaihi Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyad Drishtashrutan Madrachananu Chintaya Chittasya Yatto Grahane Yoga Yukto Yatishyate Rijubhir Yoga Margaihi Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyad दृष्टश्रुतान् मद्रचनानुचिन्तया चित्तस्य यत्तो ग्रहणे योगयुक्तो यतिष्यते ऋजुभिर्योगमार्गैः Bhaktya, by devotional service. Puman, a person. Jata viragaha, having developed distaste. Aindriyat, for sense gratification. Drishta, seen in this world. Shrutat, heard in the next world. Mad rachana, my activities of creation and so on. Anuchintaya, by constantly thinking about. Chittasya, of the mind. Yattaha, engaged. Grahane, in the control. Yoga yuktaha, situated in devotional service. Yatishyate, will endeavor. Rijubhihi, easy. Yoga margaihi, by the processes of mystic power. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Thus consciously engaged in devotional service in the association of devotees, a person gains distaste for sense gratification, both in this world and in the next, by constantly thinking about the activities of the Lord. This process of Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of mystic power. When one is actually situated on that path of devotional service, he is able to control the mind. Kindly repeat. Thus consciously engaged in devotional service in the association of devotees, a person gains distaste for sense gratification, both in this world and in the next, by constantly thinking about the activities of the Lord. This process of Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of mystic power. When one is actually situated on that path of devotional service, he is able to control the mind. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In all scriptures, people are encouraged to act in a pious way so that they can enjoy sense gratification not only in this life but also in the next. For example, one is promised promotion to the heavenly kingdom of higher planets by pious fruitive activities. But a devotee in the association of devotees prefers to contemplate the activities of the Lord, how He has created this universe, how He is maintaining it, how the creation dissolves, and how in the spiritual kingdom the Lord's pastimes are going on. There are full literatures describing these activities of the Lord, especially Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and Srimad-Bhagavatam. The sincere devotee who associates with devotees gets the opportunity to hear and contemplate this subject of the pastimes of the Lord, and the result is that he feels distaste for so-called happiness in this or that world, in heaven or on other planets. The devotees are simply interested in being transferred to the personal association of the Lord. They have no more attraction for temporary so-called happiness. That is the position of one who is Yoga Yukta. One who is fixed in mystic power is not disturbed by the allurement of this world or that world. He is interested in the matters of spiritual understanding or the spiritual situation. This sublime situation is very easily attained by the easiest process, Bhakti Yoga. Rijubir Yoga Bhargaihi. A very suitable word used here is Rijubihi, or very easy. There are different processes of Yoga Marga, attaining yoga perfection. But this process, devotional service to the Lord, is the easiest. Not only is it the easiest process, but the result is sublime. Everyone, therefore, should try to take this process of Krishna consciousness and reach the highest perfection of life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam. Sometime back, one devotee, not a temple devotee, but a devotee who was associated with the temple, he invited me to his shop. He was running a boutique. You know, a boutique where they make all kinds of dresses for people. That kind of boutique, custom made. This one. That devotee is a fashion designer, and he has been running this boutique for many years. And because he is a devotee, chanting Hare Krishna, he follows the regulative principles and all that, and because he invited, so we went to his shop. And when I went to his shop, naturally, he took me around, wanted to show me. The shop was, I think, on 2 or 3 floors in Delhi. He took me around, showed me various things. And then there were all kinds of designer lehengas and marriage sherwanis and all such stuff. And all kinds of different kinds of embroidery work. And he was showing the different kinds of embroidery, machine embroidery, hand embroidery, all these kind of things. And he is quite a young chap, but has achieved a lot. He has made dresses for even Bollywood stars, that level person. And while talking, I asked, how much will this wedding lehenga cost? He said, it starts from 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees and goes up to whatever you want, 10 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees also we can make. I was like, oh my God. Here we go to the shop, and we ask for one dhoti, the shop owner says 600 rupees, and we'll be haggling with him, and we'll say, no, I will pay 500 rupees. Then he will tell one figure. Finally, he will give a discount of 25 rupees, and 575 rupees we'll buy that dhoti and we'll come feeling great achievement. 25 rupees discount I got for a 600 rupees dhoti. And here, people are spending lakhs of rupees for one lehenga, which they will wear only on the wedding day. After that, they'll never wear. People have a penchant for dressing themselves very nicely. And people who can afford it, according to each person's level, whatever his capacity is, he will try to buy the best dress for himself. Whatever is the most expensive dress he can afford, he will wear that and he feels satisfied in that. So during these big fat Indian weddings, people wear all these kinds of lehenga, sherwani, all these kind of things costing lakhs of rupees. And if you go to these weddings, especially these North Indian weddings, they will have, normally what happens is in North India, it's quite sultry, it's quite warm. So many times of the year, they conduct the weddings in the evening, night times. Normally the wedding preparations and the festivities will start after 8 p.m. only, and it will go on till late in the night. And they will conduct it in an open field, open lawn kind of place. And food is another thing which is very, very prominent in these weddings. You will have a course, they will set up stalls with about 100 items, 150 items. Nobody can eat that many items. But for the guests who come, such a wide spread. And they will go and little, they'll take here and there some things, whatever they like. Food, dress, people spend lavishly on these things. Now, the process of bhakti, which is mentioned in today's verse, bhaktya puman jata viraga aindriyat. The process of bhakti is, you don't have to take any difficult work, you don't have to work very hard or something like that. The same propensity that is there to dress lavishly, to eat lavishly, what you do, you dress the Lord, the deity of Krishna in the temple. You dress the deity of Krishna very lavishly, and you offer big feasts to Krishna in the temple. Then what will happen? That simple activity constitutes bhakti yoga. It is, as it is mentioned here, it is yoga yuktaha, yoga margaha. It is a process of mystic power. And simply that same propensity, we already have that propensity to dress lavishly and to eat very luxuriously. Instead of doing it for ourselves, we simply transfer that to Krishna. We dress simply and we eat in a very simple manner, but for Krishna we offer all kinds of luxurious dresses and jewelry and foodstuff. What will happen? By this process of bhakti yoga, jata viraga aindriyad, one will develop detachment from the process of sense gratification. One will lose the taste to dress oneself lavishly, to eat good food oneself. One will lose the taste. This is how the process of bhakti yoga works. How does this happen? You dress Krishna lavishly, you prepare wonderful feasts for Krishna and offer to him. What happens? You will lose the taste to dress yourself luxuriously. You will lose the taste to eat very opulent foodstuff yourself. How does this happen? This is a mystic process. And that is why it is mentioned here, yoga margaihi. By this mystic process of bhakti, transferring the propensities that we have to enjoy ourselves in various ways, we transfer it to the deity of Krishna in the temple. What happens? Jata viraga aindriyat. We immediately develop distaste for enjoying sense gratification. Not only in this world, drishta shrutan. Not drishta means whatever opportunities for sense gratification we are able to see within this material world. We are living here, we have got a body as a human being on this earthly planet, and we see various objects of sense gratification on this world around us. And we also see different kinds of people enjoying differently. The opportunities for sense gratification being exploited by other people we see that and we also develop a desire. Oh, I can also enjoy like this. This is drishta, what you can see in this material world. Then there is shruta. According to the Vedic scriptures, if you engage in the process of dana, tapasya, yajna, what do the Vedic scriptures tell? If you do this kind of yajna, you do this kind of dana, you do this kind of tapasya, in your next life you can go to Swarga. This is, you and I have not seen Swarga. We have not seen the higher upper planetary systems, but we have only heard of them. And we have heard that in the Swargaloka there is Nandana Kanana, there is that beautiful garden where Indra and all the devatas sport, and there are beautiful apsaras. And there, the apsaras, their bodies are naturally self-fragrant. Their bodies smell like lotus flowers. They don't need to use eau de cologne and manufacture some perfume and apply it on themselves. They don't have to do that. Automatically, their body is fragrant. That is the standard of sense gratification available in the Swargalokas, which we have heard of from the Vedic scriptures. This is called Shrutan. Drishta Shrutan. Whatever opportunities for sense gratification are there in this material world, whatever you are able to see and whatever you have heard, from all of that Aindriyat Jata Viragaha, one will develop detachment. One is a devotee who engages in devotional service to Krishna by transferring all the propensities that he has to enjoy for himself onto the deity of Krishna and offering all such enjoyment to Krishna. What happens? He becomes disinterested in material enjoyment in this world as well as in the next world. This is very important because sometimes you will see there are some yogis, Ashtanga yogis, who are engaging in deep tapasya, and they have given up the material world. They have gone to the Himalayas and Shri Krishna, Rukmani, Satyabhama. And they will be Babas, they will be living naked. They don't even wear any dress in the intense cold, in the snowing Himalayas. So they are very renounced. But why are they so renounced? Why are they taking so much tapasya and austerity? Because next life they want to attain yoga siddhis and they want to go to the Swargaloka and Siddhalokas where they can enjoy happily. But a devotee who engages in devotional service to Krishna by offering everything to the deity of Krishna in the temple, what happens? He is not interested in the material sense gratification that is available on this earthly planet, nor is he interested in the next life to go to the Swargalokas and enjoy there. He is not interested in that also. This is a very high level of renunciation, which is possible only by the path of Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyat. Bhaktya Drishtashrutan Aindriyat Jata Viragaha. One develops detachment from all kinds of sense gratification, whatever one can see in this material world, as well as whatever one can hear of higher standards of material happiness which is available in the heavenly planets. And when one develops such kind of detachment towards material sense gratification, then what does the devotee do? What is his engagement? As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Na jatu tishtatya karmakrit. We cannot remain inactive even for a moment. If you go outside and you go and look at the material world, everybody is busy. Nobody has time for anything. Everybody is running helter and skelter. You just go to the Thiruvanmiyur traffic signal and stand there for 2 minutes. You will see vehicles zipping up and down, cars, buses, two-wheelers, autos, all jam-packed with people, and everybody is running this way, that way, this way, that way. Where are people going? Why are they rushing so madly? What are they so busy about? All of them are busy making arrangements for sense gratification. So, the nature of the living entity that he has to be active. Nobody can remain idle. Everybody has to keep doing something. And people in this material world are very, very busy with activities of sense gratification. Now, a devotee, by rendering devotional service to the deities in the temple, what happens? He has developed jata viraga. He is no more interested. He has developed a distaste for sense gratification. So why will he run? A devotee will not run here and there, left, right and center, trying to engage in sense gratification. He's already developed a distaste. He's not interested. Then what does he do? Because by nature, living entity cannot be inactive. He has to be active. Then what does he do? That is stated by Kapila Deva in today's verse. He says, Mad Rachana Anuchintaya. The devotee is Anuchintaya. He is constantly immersed in thoughts. In thoughts of what? Mad Rachana. Rachana means creation. The activities, the pastimes of Krishna in creating this material world, maintaining it, annihilating it, incarnating into this material world, maintaining his devotees, maintaining the spiritual world. These activities become the focal point of a devotee. The devotee is also busy. What is he busy in? He is busy in remembering all these pastimes of Krishna, of creation, maintenance, annihilation, as well as all the pastimes of Krishna in his various incarnations. These things absorb the mind of a devotee. And chittasya yatto grahane yoga yuktaha. Yoga yuktaha, being engaged in bhakti yoga like this, by engaging himself in rendering service to the deities in various ways and absorbed in thinking of the various pastimes of Krishna, beginning with the creation of this material world as well as its maintenance and dissolution, that devotee develops vairagya, detachment, and then by being so engaged, he constantly is immersed in these kind of thoughts. Then what happens? Chittasya yattaha grahane. His mind becomes automatically controlled. He does not have to endeavor to separately endeavor to control his mind. Simply because his mind is absorbed in thinking of Krishna's activities, his mind automatically becomes controlled. And now, for that controlling the mind, how does that devotee have to endeavor? Yatishyate. He has to struggle hard to think of Krishna, to serve Krishna, and he has to undergo great endeavor. Is that how it is? Just like you look at Ashtanga yogis. They have to undertake brahmacharya. Very strictly they have to follow brahmacharya. They have to go to the forest and they have to live on the roots and fruits and whatever water is available in the forest. They cannot have any luxurious food stuff, and they have to spread deer skin on the ground, and they have to sit on that, and they have to control the breathing process and focus, concentrate the mind and the heart to search out the form of Paramatma within the heart. This is the way an Ashtanga yogi practices Ashtanga yoga, as described in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. You can imagine the amount of self-restraint that is needed, the amount of effort, the amount of renunciation. One has to give up one's family, go to the forest, and in the forest you are all alone. There are so many ferocious animals in the forest. You have to be fearless of all of them. These are all not easy things, very tough. Similarly, on the path of Jnana Yoga, what happens? You have to renounce the material world, all your connection with your family, house, everything you have to give up. And then you have to take sannyas, and you have to study very deeply the Sanskrit literature, learn all the grammar and all these kind of things, and then study deeply the Upanishads, the Vedanta Sutras. Unless you are a Sanskrit scholar, you cannot follow the path of Jnana Yoga. To learn the Upanishads, to learn the Vedanta Sutras, that requires a great intellectual endeavor. Not easy, not everybody can do that. On the path of Jnana Yoga also, there is great endeavor involved. There is great hard work. Lot of determination is required. On the path of Karma Yoga, there also, you have to be totally detached from the fruits of your actions. You are acting, you are working, you are doing your duty. Sometimes when you do your duty, the fruits that you get are opposite to what you like. They may not be favorable results, what you want, but still you have to do your duty. Just like Dronacharya, you see, his duty was to teach Dhanurvidya, to suitable candidates, to candidates who would be eligible to receive the knowledge and who would not misuse it. Drishtadyumna came to Dronacharya and he told him that I want to learn Dhanurvidya from you. And who is Drishtadyumna? Drishtadyumna is the son of Drupada, and he was born specifically with the purpose to kill Dronacharya. And he is coming to Dronacharya and telling him that you are the greatest teacher of Dhanurvidya in the world today. So you please teach me Dhanurvidya. Dronacharya, according to the laws of Karma Yoga, he has to do his duty. He has to teach him. And what is the result of Dronacharya teaching Drishtadyumna? Drishtadyumna will use that knowledge and kill Dronacharya. You see the result? Now, if you have to follow Karma Yoga, you have to do your duty. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have the right over the fruit of the result. Don't bother about the fruit of your activity. Do your duty. Dronacharya has to do his duty. The result of doing his duty is he will lose his life, but still he has to do his duty. Imagine, not easy, very tough. How many of us can do this? If we are in Dronacharya's position, will we do this? First thing we'll do is take the bow and arrow and shoot the arrow at Drishtadyumna. Finish him off. Forget duty and all that. Karma Yoga, everything out of the window. You see, following Karma Yoga is also not easy. Sometimes the results will be adverse, but still you have to do your duty. And even if the result is not adverse, even if it is favorable, you should be detached from the fruits. You have no right to enjoy those fruits. Imagine that. That is even worse. You are getting a favorable result, but you should not enjoy that. Karma Yoga is very, very tough. Jnana Yoga is also tough. And Ashtanga Yoga also very difficult. All yoga processes are difficult. That's why not everybody becomes a yogi. You will see very few people become yogis. Otherwise, most of the people yoga from a big distance, they will put on Dandavat and run away. Anybody goes to an ashram, meets a yogi, he will fall at his feet and tell him, please bless me so that I can enjoy. And if the yogi tells him, I will bless you, you become a yogi, then he will say, nobody will go to that yogi, everybody will run away. Because so tough, it's not easy. You need great determination, great endeavor. Therefore, when you engage in Bhakti Yoga, you are giving up all the taste for material sense gratification, and you are engaged in worshipping the deity of Krishna, and you are constantly remembering all those pastimes of Krishna, beginning with the creation, maintenance and dissolution of this material universe. And like this, you are engaged in yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and you are controlling the mind in this way. So, in this endeavor also there is great endeavor involved. No, Kapila Deva is saying, Rijubir Yoga Margaihi. Yoga Margaihi, of all the yoga processes, Rijubihi, this yoga process, the process of Bhakti Yoga, is the easiest one. Not at all difficult. Why? What is the difference? Any yoga process you undergo, you have to control the mind. You have to control the senses. You cannot engage in unrestricted sense gratification. You have to have vairagya, detachment from the material world. You cannot be attached to your family members, to the objects of your whatever your possession you may come in touch with. These things are common in any yoga process, isn't it? Whether you follow the process of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Ashtanga Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, you have to be detached. You have to control the senses, you have to control the mind. Shama, Dama, Titiksha, you have to be tolerant. Vairagya, you have to be detached. All these things are common. So then why are you saying that Bhakti Yoga is very easy? Rijubihi Yoga Margaihi. Of all yoga processes, Bhakti Yoga is very easy. How are we saying that? Lord Krishna explains that in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 12th chapter, verses 6 to 7, Krishna says, Yetu sarvani karmani Mai sanyasya matparaha ananyena yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayyaveshita chetasam. In other yoga processes, when you take the process of Ashtanga Yoga, you take the process of Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, what happens is the personal endeavor of the practitioner of that yoga process is very, very important. Everything depends upon the yogi, how determinedly he is able to follow the path, how strong he is, how resolute he is in following that yoga path. It is entirely dependent upon the internal strength of that individual, his determination and his resoluteness to follow that path of yoga. In the case of Bhakti Yoga, what happens? Krishna is saying, Yetu sarvani karmani, mai sanyasya mat paraha. One who sarvani karmani, all activities, he has dedicated it to Krishna. Yetu sarvani karmani, mai sanyasya. One has dedicated all his activities to Krishna. Outside material world, people want to wear 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh rupees worth of dress. Devotees want to offer 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh rupees worth of dress to Krishna. And for ourselves, 500 rupees dhoti, 200 rupees one kurta is enough. All mai sanyasya sarvani karmani. Devotees have given up all the desires to enjoy in any material way. They want to offer the best of things to Krishna. This is called mai sarvani karmani sanyasya mat paraha. And the devotees are completely dedicated their life to Krishna. They have no activity other than serving Krishna. Such devotees, ananyenaiva yogena, in this way, when they perform ananya bhakti, meaning they are performing pure devotional service. They have no motivation in performing their devotional service than the pleasure of Krishna. A devotee, unlike a jnana yogi or an ashtanga yogi or a karma yogi, he is not interested in the result that comes out of his bhakti yoga. An ashtanga yogi, what is his desire? He is performing all this ashtanga yoga with the desire that he will attain yoga siddhis. He can go to the upper planetary systems and he can enjoy there. Jnana yogi is thinking that by performing jnana yoga, I should attain mukti so that I can become free from the distress of this material world. Karma yogi is thinking by performing karma yoga, I should be able to go to the heavenly planets, Swargaloka, and there I can be peaceful and I can be happy. Everybody has some personal motivation. What is a bhakti yogi thinking when he is doing yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha? When a devotee, he is engaged in ananyaiva yogena, when he is performing ananya yoga, ananya bhakti yoga, he is offering expensive dresses to Krishna, the deity of Krishna. He is offering the best of jewelry for Krishna. He is offering the best of feast for Krishna. What is he thinking? Is he thinking that I am doing this to attain mukti? Or is he thinking that by doing this next life I can go to Swarga and enjoy there? Or is he thinking that by doing all this I will get yoga siddhis and I can go to Siddha Loka? He is not thinking any of these things. He is only thinking how to please Krishna by all these activities. This is called ananyenaiva yogena. Ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. The devotees are engaged in ananya bhakti yoga like this. Mam dhyayanta, constantly meditating upon Krishna. Like Kapiladeva is saying here, mad rachananu chintaya. What is he? Mam dhyayantaha. What are the devotees constantly doing dhyana? What are their minds absorbed in? As Kapiladeva is saying here, mad rachananu chintaya. Their mind is constantly absorbed in the activities, pastimes of Krishna, beginning with the creation, maintenance and dissolution of this material universe. Mam dhyayanta upasate. And like this, their minds absorbed in Krishna, when the devotee engages in ananya bhakti yoga and he is serving Krishna like this, upasate, what happens? Krishna says, Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat. The devotee is not thinking of mrityu samsara sagara, I have to cross over, I have to attain mukti, I have to gain liberation, I have to go to the spiritual world. A devotee is not thinking, I want salokya mukti, I want sarshti, I want samipya, I want sarupya, all the 4 kinds of muktis. He is not interested. Diyamanam api na grinnanti. Even if Krishna were to personally appear and tell a devotee, I want to give you one of these muktis, salokya, sarshti, samipya, sarupya, you pick one of them. the devotee will say, I am not interested. I don't want. Thank you. So, a devotee is not interested even in mukti. But, mrityu samsara sagarat tesham aham samudharta. Even though the devotee does not desire, Krishna personally comes and delivers the devotee. He helps him cross over the ocean of birth and death. Mrityu samsara sagarat. The devotee is not endeavoring, he is not working hard. I have to cross over the ocean of birth and death. I have to attain mukti, I have to go to Swarga. He is not doing anything for this. There is no endeavor at all he is putting. But Krishna personally comes and he delivers that devotee. Now the deliverance also, when does it happen? Like for instance, if a yogi, if an Ashtanga yogi has to attain siddhis and go back to and he has to attain the Siddhaloka, it will not happen in one lifetime. He has to practice Ashtanga yoga and perfect it for many, many lifetimes. Jnana yogi, if he has to attain mukti, it will not happen in one lifetime. Millions of lifetimes he has to go on cultivating jnana yoga. And lifetime after lifetime, without interruption, he has to go on practicing jnana yoga. Then some long time in the future, he will attain mukti. In the case of a bhakti yogi, what happens? Does it take similarly a long time? Krishna says, Bhavami nachirat partha mayyave sitatetasam. Because my devotees are absorbed in me, Krishna says, nachirat bhavami tesham aham samudhartam mrityu samsara sagarat. Krishna says, very quickly, very soon, I will deliver them from this ocean of birth and death. You see, Ajamila, Mriyamanopi Harer Nama, Grinnan, that Ajamila, he did not practice Bhakti Yoga for millions of lifetimes. In the beginning of his life, in his youth, he did some devotional service. He worshipped the deity of Narayana. He rendered devotional service. Later in his life, he fell down from grace. He became a debauchee. Mriyamanaha, and then at the time of death, while he was about to die, Mriyamanopi Harer Nama Grinnan. At that time when he was about to die, he took the name of Narayana. He took the name of Narayana how? Putropacharitam, calling the name of his son, not the Narayana in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha. He took the name of the Supreme Lord, which had been given to his son. At the time of death, Ajamila did this. And what happened? Agat Taddhama. Immediately, just because of that, Ajamila went back to Godhead. Agat Taddhama. He went back to the spiritual abode. The Vaikuntha Dhama he attained. Kimuta Shraddhaya Granan. So you can imagine, if somebody is chanting Krishna's holy name with great Shraddha throughout his life, what a destination is awaiting that devotee. Ajamila did not have to take many lifetimes of practicing Bhakti Yoga. While dying at the time of death, inadvertently, unknowingly, not deliberately, unintentionally, he took the name of Narayana. He was actually addressing his son. And just because he took the name of Narayana, even though unintentionally, at the time of death, what happened? He went back to Vaikuntha. What yoga process can be easier than this? You are not chanting Krishna's name intentionally. At the time of death, somehow from your mouth, Krishna name came out. Gone back to Godhead. You can imagine if your whole life you are chanting Krishna's holy name, you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, 16 malas throughout your life, then what destination is awaiting you? You don't have to spend millions of lifetimes waiting to perfect your life. Rijvir Yoga Margaihi. This Yoga Marga is very, very easy. What it requires? One tongue and 2 ears. That's all is required. Which everybody Krishna is gifted with. Krishna has gifted everybody with a tongue and 2 ears. With that you have to simply chant Hare Krishna. But fact is that the na bhaved grahyam indriyaihi. Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyahi. Krishna is completely transcendental. It is not possible for us to capture Krishna's holy name with our tongue, with our material tongue and with our two material ears. It is not possible. But Krishna is so merciful, as Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita here, Tesham aham samuddharta. When a devotee endeavors to serve Krishna by chanting his holy name, what happens? Krishna personally comes. He says, oh, this devotee is rendering devotional service to me. I should personally go and deliver him. What will happen? When we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna descends into our material sound vibration that we are vibrating. When we say Hare Krishna, it is a material vibration. But what Krishna sees, oh, this devotee is chanting my name. So what he will do? Tesham aham samuddharta. And nachirad, immediately Krishna will take avatara, he will incarnate into the material sound vibration that we are generating with our material tongue and ears. And that vibration becomes no longer material sound, it is Krishna himself. And that sound of Krishna, when it enters our ear, through our ear it enters our heart, then what happens? Our heart becomes completely cleansed of all material contamination and we become eligible to go back to Godhead. You see how this is, how Krishna has made everything so easy. In fact, any yoga process you undergo, whether it is karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, you have to be out of the bodily concept of life to be able to get the result of that yoga practice. That is why in the process of jnana yoga and ashtanga yoga, especially you have to take sannyas. Because you have to come out of the bodily concept of life. Otherwise, there is no question of yoga. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, you remain in your bodily concept of life and execute Krishna consciousness. You think, I am an Indian, I am a man, I am a woman, I am an American, I am a Hindu, I am a Christian, whatever. You think like that, and like that you render devotional service to Krishna, you will come out of the bodily concept of life and Krishna will take you back to Godhead. You look at Gajendra. Gajendra was an animal, he was an elephant. Who can be in more bodily concept of life than an animal? Animal is in the deepest darkness of ignorance, totally in the bodily concept of life. And that animal, in the bodily concept of life, he was thinking, I am an elephant, and he offered prayers to Krishna. And when Vishnu appeared as an elephant, what he did, with his trunk, he plucked one lotus flower and offered it to Vishnu. So he was not thinking that I am out of the bodily concept of life, I am a spirit soul, I am Atma. He was thinking, I am an elephant. I am an elephant, and what I can do with my trunk, I can offer a flower to Vishnu. That's all he did. Totally in the bodily concept of life. What happened? Vishnu, oh, you offered me lotus flower, liberated. Take him back to Godhead. So, Bhakti Yoga, that is why Bhakti Yoga is Rijubir Yoga Margaihi. You remain in your bodily concept of life and you execute devotional service to Krishna, chant Krishna's holy name, and Krishna will do everything. We don't have to do anything. What we have to do, whatever propensity we have for sense gratification, put it upon Krishna. And what will happen? Krishna will come and take us, Mrityu Samsara Sagarat. He will take us across the ocean of birth and death. We don't have to put any endeavor. That is why in Bhakti Yoga, you need not be a scholar, you need not know Sanskrit, you may be an illiterate, you may be a dumb person, you may be an animal. If you execute Bhakti Yoga, you will go back to Godhead. Which other yoga process this is possible? Can an animal execute Jnana Yoga? Can an elephant execute Ashtanga Yoga? You can imagine elephant sitting and doing all kinds of yoga asanas, and with his trunk he is doing, what is that, pranayama he is doing. Can you imagine? Impossible. But what did the elephant do? He did Bhakti Yoga. And by that, Bhaktya Puman Jata Viraga Aindriyat Drishta Shrutan Mad Rachana Anuchintaya Chittasya Yatto Grahane Yoga Yukto Yatishyate Rijubir Yoga Margaihi. You see, that is why Bhakti Yoga is so easily performed. That is the easiest yoga process amongst all yoga processes because it is completely transcendental. All other yoga processes are not fully transcendental. It is only Bhakti Yoga which is completely transcendental. Therefore, even the most unqualified person performs Bhakti Yoga, the process of Bhakti Yoga will qualify him. To follow the path of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, you need to be qualified yourself. If you are fully qualified, then you can follow the path of Karma Yoga. If you are fully qualified, then you can follow the path of Jnana Yoga. If you are qualified, then you can follow the path of Ashtanga Yoga. To follow the path of Bhakti Yoga, no qualification needed. You are an illiterate, you are a dumb person, you have no idea about spirituality, you are a child, you come to the temple, you see the deity of Krishna, offer your obeisances, already you are on the way back to Godhead. Somebody like Ajamila, what was his qualification? Debauchee number 1, womanizer, gambler, dacoit, these are his qualifications. You tell me, will he ever progress on the path of Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga and Karma Yoga? Never. But even if you are an animal or a child or an illiterate person or a dumb person, no idea of spirituality, if you engage in Bhakti Yoga, Rijabir Yoga Marga, you will go back to Godhead. That process of Bhakti Yoga will qualify you. You engage in Bhakti Yoga itself will give you Jnana, Vairagya, everything. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitukam. You don't need Jnana and Vairagya to execute the process of Bhakti Yoga. You execute Bhakti Yoga in the bodily concept of life, steeped in ignorance. You execute Bhakti Yoga, that Bhakti Yoga will generate Jnana and Vairagya in your heart, and you will go back to Godhead. And that is why Bhakti Yoga is Rijubir Yoga Margaihi. That is the process being recommended by Kapila Deva to his mother Devahuti. Therefore, we should take up the easiest yoga process, which is the process of Bhakti Yoga, without diverting our mind to other processes like Ashtanga Yoga, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, and such single pointed focus on pure devotional service to Krishna is called Ananyaineva Manasa. With single pointed attention, Ananya Bhakti Yoga we perform, then Krishna Tesham Aham Samudharta Mrityu Sangsara Sagarat. Krishna will come and pick us up and deliver us across the ocean of material birth and death. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.